Hi, welcome and thanks for joining me. On this episode of Build Your Own, we're going to do a buyer's guide review on the 2010 Porsche Panamera sedan. The 2010 Porsche Panamera is a four-passenger, four-door hatchback sedan. It is available in S, 4S, and turbo trim levels, which correspond to drivetrain choice. The 2010 Porsche Panamera provides amazing performance and luxury in a practical sedan package. Specifically, we're going to cover the model overview, configurations and trim levels, standard features on all models, packages, options, performance and fuel economy, safety, driving dynamics, interior, specs, Kelley Blue Book value, prices on Autotrader, common problems, and Porsche genuine accessories. Before we do, however, I just want to remind you that if you find this buyer's guide review helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's not every year we get an all-new Porsche model, let alone a four-door that literally breaks the mold for cars bearing the iconic red, black, and gold crest. Porsche toyed with the idea of a four-door 911 for years, but the prospect of a more practical, everyday version of the world's most iconic sports car never materialized. The 2010 Porsche Panamera isn't a four-door 911. The engine's in the front for one thing, but the 911 spirit is alive and kicking in this remarkable luxury sedan that's just as happy carving up a winding back road as it is cruising down the interstate. The Panamera is built on a new platform with a 114.9-inch wheelbase, which is a bit longer than traditional midsize sedans like the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, but shorter than those of larger sedans like the 7 Series and S-Class. At 76 inches wide, the Panamera's got more girth than all of them, but its 55.8-inch height makes it the lowest of them all. This is one undeniably sleek and sporty automobile, yet that low stance doesn't mean passengers are treated to a claustrophobic cabin. On the contrary, the front compartment is eminently accommodating, and the two-person back seat has head and leg room to spare. Moreover, those rear bucket seats can be optioned with 8-way power adjustability, heating, cooling, and, believe it or not, a refrigerated box. Under the hood, the Panamera employs a couple of engines derived from the Cayenne collection, starting with a 400 horsepower 4.8-liter V8 in base models and upgrading to a 500 horsepower version in the Panamera Turbo. You might be concerned that four doors and a whole lot of weight dull the driving experience, but you can set aside those concerns as the Panamera S, 4S, and Turbo handle and steer fantastically and can keep pace with most sports cars. The fact that you can drive four people hundreds of miles in rapid, luxurious comfort is doubly impressive given this car's astonishing performance capabilities. Of course, should you need an extra fifth seat, you'll obviously be better served by a BMW 750 Li, Maserati Quattroporte, or Mercedes-Benz S-Class. A used 2010 Porsche Panamera can also get pretty pricey, but at the end of the day, Porsche's first legitimate sedan is an incredible machine that raises the bar for high-performance sports sedans. The 2010 Porsche Panamera is a four-passenger, four-door hatchback sedan. It is available in S, 4S, and turbo trim levels, which correspond to drivetrain choice. The 2010 Panamera S comes standard with 18-inch wheels, adaptive suspension dampers, rear parking sensors, a sunroof, adaptive bi-xenon headlights, a power rear hatch, dual-zone automatic climate control, a tilt and telescoping steering column, 8-way power front seats, driver memory functions, heated front seats, leather upholstery, a 60-40 split rear seat back, and rear bucket seats. Also standard are a hard drive based navigation system and 11-speaker CD audio system. The Panamera 4S differs only in that it has all-wheel drive. The Panamera Turbo adds a turbocharged V8, 19-inch wheels, adaptive air suspension with load leveling and adjustable ride height, front parking sensors, keyless ignition and entry, 10-way power front seats and adjustable lumbar support, expanded driver memory functions, a power adjustable steering column, heated rear seats, a full leather interior, an Alcantara headliner, and a 14-speaker Bose surround sound audio system. In typical Porsche tradition, a very lengthy list of expensive options allows buyers to easily customize their Panameras. Other than its engine, all of the Turbo's extra features are available on the S and 4S. Other options include ceramic composite brakes, variable assist power steering, Porsche dynamic chassis control, which consists of adaptive anti-roll bars, and a limited slip rear differential differential, 20-inch wheels, a rear wiper, ventilated front and rear seats, 8-way power rear seats, adaptive sport front seats that include adjustable side bolsters, ruffled leather upholstery, a heated steering wheel, 4-zone climate control, rear sunshades, rear ambient lighting, a rear seat refrigerator, Bluetooth, a rear view camera, voice control, a rear seat entertainment system, satellite radio, an iPod interface, a 6 CD DVD changer, and a 16-speaker Burmester high-end surround sound audio system. The Sport Chrono Package Plus adds analog and digital stopwatches and adjustable engine and suspension settings. There are also countless ways to customize practically every interior surface with different shades of leather, wood, metal, carbon fiber, and paint. The Porsche Panamera S and 4S are powered by a front-mounted 4.8-liter V8 good for 400 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. The S is rear-wheel drive, the 4S is all-wheel drive. The Panamera Turbo is also all-wheel drive, but gets a twin-turbocharged version of the same V8 for a grand total of 500 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. All Panameras come with the Porsche PDK 7-speed dual-clutch automated gearbox. Every Panamera comes standard with auto stop-start technology that shuts off the engine when you come to a stop to conserve fuel. Every 2010 Porsche Panamera comes standard with anti-lock brakes with brake assist, stability and traction control, front seat and rear seat side airbags, side curtain airbags, and front knee airbags. Ceramic composite brakes and a rear view camera are optional. The 2010 Porsche Panamera is a highly capable and engaging performance car. With its various adjustments set to maximum attack and in the hands of a capable driver, there are few cars capable of running with the Panamera on the right road. Even dedicated sports cars will struggle when a Panamera is turned up to 11 and driven to its potential. Yet thanks to the bevy of electronic chassis and suspension adjustments, the Panamera delivers ride comfort that'll keep your rear seat occupants snug, happy campers. There's no going wrong with either of the available V8 engines. One is fast, the other supersonic. The PDK transmission snaps off shifts with remarkable speed, whether in automatic or manual mode. From the driver's seat, the Panamera's interior evokes the 911's. Major controls are easy to reach, yet there's more space in virtually every dimension. While most competing luxury sports sedans these days have some sort of controller interface, BMW's iDrive for instance, Porsche has resisted that trend. Consequently, the entire center console is covered with buttons, which may or may not be to one's liking. In traditional Porsche form, the front seats are marvelously comfortable and supportive. In back, the heavily bolstered bucket seats are loaded with the same optional amenities you'll find in larger luxury sedans like the BMW 7 Series and Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Heated, cooled, and electronically adjustable, they're roomy enough to accommodate adults more than 6 feet tall. The trunk is accessed via a power hatchback and measures an impressive 15.7 cubic feet. Lower the folding rear seat backs and that swells to 44.6 cubic feet. Okay, let's talk about specs for the 2010 Porsche Panamera. We can see up here they have a drop down so we could choose which specs for which model we actually want to take a look at. And then we can also see what their starting MSRP was back in 2010. So your base model Panamera S back in 2010 started at $89,800. That's the most popular one, so says Edmunds. Then you've got the 4S. The only difference between the 4S and the S is that the 4S gets all-wheel drive, and that started at $93,800. Then you have the Turbo. The Turbo's my favorite. I love the Panamera Turbo. I want a Panamera Turbo. The starting price for a Panamera Turbo back in 2010 was $132,600. However, we're not going to check the features for all three of these models. What we're going to do is we're going to check the features for the most popular model. So let's do that. Or I'm sorry, check the specs for the most popular model. So let's do that. So, right, we're not going to go over everything. We're just going to kind of glide over this page, kind of like we did when I did the buyer's guide review for my Mercedes S550 for 2010. I'll put the link in the description below. So yeah, we know starting MSRP for this car back in the day, $89,800. It's a V8 engine, 7-speed transmission called PDK. This one only gets rear-wheel drive. Your combined fuel economy, they say, is 19 miles to the gallon. What else do we have down here? Well, here you go. Here's your EPA estimated 16 city, 24 highway fuel economy. On a full tank of gas, they tell you you're going to get 337 miles of range in the city and 506 miles of range on the highway. It's got a 21.1 gallon fuel tank. And yeah, absolutely, you've got to put premium unleaded fuel in this bad boy. Over here under engine specs, right, we already know this. 400 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque, dual overhead cam. And then, of course, you've got a ton of standard safety features. I'm not going to try to read all of these off. There's a ton of them. You could easily pause this video if you want to make sure you read all of them. The one I like, daytime running lights. I just think daytime running lights are cool, and that really started to be a feature back in 2010. Here's all the different packages that can be had on, well, there's probably most of them. I don't know if it's every one of them, but here's a lot of the packages at the very least that could be had on the 2010 Porsche Panamera. We talked about the Sport Chrono Package Plus. You've got the 18-way seats. There's a brushed aluminum package. Me, I'm into the carbon fiber stuff, so I would have been down for, let's say, the carbon fiber interior package. But they've got a lot of stuff. Leather packages, walnut interior packages, birch anthracite interior package, all kind of stuff. Then they got the in-car entertainment. Your bass stereo, I guess, came with 11 speakers, 235 watts of power, but you could upgrade to a Bose or a Burmester. And then here's all your standard comfort and convenience features right here. Moving on, we've got these power features. They talk about power mirrors, heated mirrors, remote keyless power door locks, all that. And then there was a ton of interior options. I mean a ton of them. Like, for instance, did you want your illuminated door sill guards in carbon fiber? Things like that. Do you want your key pouch in leather? All two-tone leather yachting blue cream. Anthracite, or I'm sorry, Alcantara roof liner. I'm only just naming off a few because, as you can see, you can even get a fire extinguisher. There are a lot. Voice control for the PCM, that's Porsche Communication Management. That's their term for their infotainment. Heated steering wheel, all kinds of stuff. You can get those door sill guards in aluminum. You can get natural leather interior, yachting blue leather interior. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, literally on and on and on. Okay, moving forward here, they talk about instrumentation, some standard features here, and front seat dimensions here. And they don't actually give us any front seat dimensions, nor do they give us any rear seat dimensions. Here we have a long list of different exterior options, like the turbo wheels, the 19-inch turbo wheels, the 20-inch wheels, all kinds of stuff. A rear wiper, because the rear wiper was not a standard feature. And honestly, you'll be hard-pressed. It'll be very rare to see a Panamera, especially a Gen 1 Panamera, with a rear wiper on it. Now, here we do have a few dimensions, exterior dimensions, like the overall length of this vehicle, 195.6 inches. And I think that's about the length of, say, a Dodge Charger. And then you've got what? You've got the overall height, which we know about, 55.8 cubic inches, or 55.8 inches. That wheelbase we know about, 114.9 inches. And the overall width, 76 inches. Down here, look at all the colors. Lots of colors. We got exterior colors and interior colors. And I do know that if we mouse over these, we can actually see all the names of the colors. So let's go over them. Okay, let's start with the exterior colors. So we've got a topaz brown. There was a jet green metallic, dark blue metallic, yachting blue metallic. These are all metallics, I guess. Mahogany, ruby red. I'll let you know if it's not metallic. Platinum silver, carbon gray, basalt black, crystal green. Haven't seen one of those. Then they have just straight black. Carrera white, so these must be non-metallic colors. No, aqua blue metallic, we're back to metallics. Cognac metallic, GT silver metallic, and amethyst metallic. So there's really only two non-metallic colors. They have a black, and then they have the Carrera white. Moving on to interior colors here, you've got that cognac natural leather. You've got the yachting blue, which is probably gorgeous. You have the platinum gray. This is all leather, by the way. Luxor beige. You've got the yachting blue with cream. You've got the Luxor beige and cream. Platinum gray, full leather, right? That's going to be extended leather package. Black full leather. That's going to be leather in other places that might not have normally had leather. Here's a cognac and cedar natural leather. espresso natural leather, Luxor beige in the full leather. You've got the black and platinum gray leather, and then finally you've got just straight black leather. Moving on, we've got tires and wheels. Your standard wheels, as we know, your base model S came with 18-inch wheels. You got the standard suspension stuff, and it had a very standard warranty back in the day. Okay, so let's move on to Kelley Blue Book values for a 2010 Porsche Panamera. I thought it was important to start at, hey, what's the average miles driven in a year? It says it's 13,500 because when you go to the Kelley Blue Book and you want to check out values, you need to put in some mileage. So let's go over there real fast and check this all out. Okay, so I've already filled out all the information, so for speed-wise, so we can actually get through this. Now, I do notice right off the bat that there are 4 recalls on the 2010 Porsche Panamera. We'll get to those in a second. Let's go over these values. This one is the 2010 Porsche Panamera. This is your S model. I put 90,000 miles down. I think that's very fair. Like I said, I think you can find a lot of them with less miles than that. And so they say trade-in value on one of these is between $16,199 and, $19,003 basically. Your average trade-in value being about $17,748. They'd say that the private party value is roughly your average private party values $20,762. And you know what? Like I said, I like the Panamera. I look at a lot of these used on Craigslist, on Autotrader, different places, and you can certainly find a 2010 base Panamera S non-four-wheel drive. You could certainly get one for $20,000, $25,000, $27,000, and it won't have 90,000 miles on it. Okay, so here we are looking at the value for the Panamera 4S now, and your average trade-in value for the 4S is $18,430. So about $1,000 and more, possibly just a little bit more, not a whole bunch. And then your private party value is $21,568. And yeah, again, around here, you can certainly find a 4S for under $30,000 all day long, and a nice one. Okay, last but certainly not least, here's the 2010 Porsche Panamera Turbo. They tell us that your average trade-in value for one of these bad boys, just under $25,000. $24,615. They say private party value is just over $25,000. I wouldn't agree with them there. To get yourself a nice panty turbo, you're looking at plus $30,000. I see them anywhere from $35,000 on up to $50,000, believe it or not. So they can be very, very expensive still. All right, let's check out these recalls. One of them I did know about. I knew about this engine recall right here. This is that camshaft adjuster. Apparently a screw or something like that needs to be replaced. So that's cool there. That one. So there's 4 of them. Then there's one more with the seatbelt. So you need a new locking element that's going to get installed on the seatbelt anchor system. I'm just kind of briefly going over these. The electrical system, you need a new add a relay harness to the AC blower control unit and reseal it to prevent water from leaking in. All right. These are all free of charge, of course, these recalls. And then this one's about replace the shifter cable bushing. So there, might have to do with the PDK transmission. So I would think that probably most 2010 Panameras have already gone through this, but if you are looking for one, I'd certainly double check that, make sure that it's been done, and or get yours in immediately. Okay, let's talk about common problems for the 2010 Porsche Panamera. And like any good German car, there can be quite a few different things. We're going to take a look at this first article here in a second, but I just put in a very basic search term, 2010 Porsche Panamera common problems. You get some videos that come up, you get Consumer Reports that comes up, you get a couple of forums, you get some forum stuff that comes up. So you got to do some digging when it comes to stuff like this. We could easily spend lots of time going over common problems and doing some deep digging. But let's check out this top article here and find out the most common issues. Okay, so here we're on this PCAR-wise. I guess if I'm saying that right, here's the Porsche Panamera common problems. Some of these we've seen. So they say oil level high or low, And we're not going to click the drop down on all of these because really what they're going to do is give you a whole big read on that. So we're just kind of briefly going over some of these things, like, say, for instance, the check engine light, the V8 engine failure for the cam adjuster bolt. That's the recall thing we just looked at there a second ago on Kelley Blue Book. Then here they're talking about the PCM issues, coolant leaks, no start because of the fuel pump failure, PDK issues, even issues with the V6, because didn't the V6 come out right in like 2011 or something? Brake booster messages, AC system things. So there are a number of things with the Panamera, to be sure. But that doesn't make me any difference. I still love the Panamera. I still want a Panamera Turbo. So let's go check the prices and then go check out some official Porsche accessories for the 2010 Panamera. Okay, so here we are on Autotrader, and so we're going to look up real-time, real-world prices for the 2010 Porsche Panamera. We're going to start with the S model here. We can see that we've got 20 results. I did any distance, and we can see some prices here. The first one is basically $21,000. It's got 106,000 miles. Here we've got a real honey of one, 35,000 miles on it, $30,000. That's all the money. Here's one for $10,800. I don't know if you should run from this one or not. Here's one for $28,000, $33,000. So here's one for 20. That's that same one. Here's one for 32. So yeah, they're not exactly $25,000, but as you can see, some of them do have over 100,000 miles. Many of them have under 100,000 miles, and some are just right around in that 90,000 mile area. Here's a nice 2010 S right here for $30,000 with 65,000 miles on it. So yeah, here's a good look at them. This white one is very beautiful. Love the wheels on that one for $33,900. So yeah, these are the S's. Now let's go look at the 4S. Okay, so let's check out the 4S. These two first ones in blue, these are ads, so those don't count. So here's a 4S for $27,000. Here's one for $23,900 with 83,000 miles on it. That one looks good. We're not going to check out the pictures, but boy, I sure want to take a look at that one there. The 4S's seem to be a little better priced than those S's, don't they? They seem to be right around $30,000. Here's one for $26,000. Here's another one for $26,000, $89,000, 89,000 miles. This one up here's got 40,000 miles. Here's one with 94,000. They don't have a picture of it, though. I never usually bother with those. Here's one with 75,000 miles on it for $26,000. Here's another one with 72,000 miles on it for $30,000. Here's one for $30,000 with 40,000 miles on it. So like I was saying, you could catch a lot of Panameras for under the typical mileage because, well, it's not your typical car. It wasn't your typical buyer. So you don't have the same kind of person putting the same kind of mileage. It just wasn't that kind of car. So let's go check out the turbos now. Okay, so we got 17 results for the turbos. All right, here's your first turbo here, $82,000, 36 grand. I'm rounding up. This black one's nice, $90,000 miles. It's 32.7. Here's a stock image one for 38.9 with 60,000 miles on it. Here's one with over 100,000 miles on it right here, 106. They want 31 for that one. Here's one for 40 grand with 47,000 miles on it. Here's another one with 77,000 miles for 33. Here's one for $50,000 and it's got 130,000 miles on it. That's got to be wrong. Got to be wrong. At any rate, yeah, so we can kind of catch some prices. They're anywhere from $30,000 on up to about $40,000 on average. So here's a little website I like to frequent quite often, Park Place up in the Bellevue, Washington area up near Seattle. And they've got this one here. This one happens to be a 2011. There probably weren't many changes over 2010 versus 2011, but this one's only got 2011. This one's only got 25,000 miles on it. It is a honey. It is a honey. It is a honey, and they're asking all the money at $55,000 for this bad boy. So as you can see, they can be very expensive, even though they're super old. Okay, for the last part of this buyer's guide, let's visit the Porsche website. That's where we're at. And we're looking at their tech equipment. That's their accessories. And as you can see up here, it says Panamera G1. Well, what do they mean by that? Well, when you drop down to this menu, you can see they've got Panamera G2 version 2, G2, G1 version 2, and then G1. So you got your G1 because, well, they made the Panamera from 2010 and they still currently make it. But in 2014, they kind of redesigned it. Well, they didn't really redesign it. They kind of did a light redesign. They lengthened the Panamera a little bit. But it was essentially the same Panamera. So you've got two versions of the first generation Panamera, 2010 through 2013, which, that we're looking at Gen 1s right now. And then you got the Gen 2 version, which went from like 14 to 16, I think it was, but don't quote me exactly on that. At any rate here, let's just take the Panamera S. We know that was around in 2010, and per Edmunds, they said that's the most popular one. So let's just look at equipment accessories for the 2010 Panamera S. Okay, so here we are on that page, and they have it in categories here. They show us highlights. They're showing here a car care range of products that are $950. But then we have some exterior products here. Like you can get the bi-xenon and headlights in black, including the Porsche Dynamics, right? They give you the price here. You can get a sport design package without side skirts. You can get some sport design side skirts on your Panamera. So you can get a body kit on your Panny if you wanted it. Here they're showing wheel accessories if you wanted wheel spacers, snow chains, wheel bolts, wheel hub covers, and all that kind of stuff. Decorative valves covers. Under performance, you can get a sport exhaust. You can get the Sport Plus mode. You can get an aluminum tank cap for the interior. You can update the interior. Anything from all-weather floor mats, aluminum PDK shifter, Alcantara interior package. You can get 2 fold-out cup holders they're showing up here. All kinds of stuff. There's the refrigerator for $2,500. Illuminated door sills, which I love. You got the yachty mahogany wood. I actually saw a 2012 Panamera Turbo with this wood in it all over the dash, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous wood. And so, yeah, here it is right here, the yachting mahogany interior package. You got sun visors. You got painted vehicle keys. You've got reversible luggage compartment mat, so you can get a sport design steering wheel if you want the sport steering wheel. You can get LED lighting package. So there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of cool things to be gotten. And then under audio and communication, they got a cordless headset for your telephone, navigation updates, universal audio interface, all those kinds of good things. They've got the rear seat entertainment if you wanted such a thing. They even have Porsche-specific child seats, as you can see here. Backrest protectors as well. They've got lots of transport and protection, so luggage stuff, I'd definitely be all over the luggage. That's super cool. I love the luggage compartment liner. The all-weather liner is very nice. I love the car covers. I'd even be up for one of those roof boxes, depending on what kind of traveling I might do. I think it looks pretty cool. And then down here, they got a ton of car care accessories, ice scrapers, battery chargers, insect remover, I guess, from the front, while you get the bugs on the front of the car, leather cleaner, rim cleaner. They got all kinds of stuff. They got a tool set, all kinds of cool things down here. So yeah, this is the Porsche accessories known as Tequipment. All right, well, you know what? I think we actually learned everything we need to know about the 2010 Porsche Panamera. So that's going to wrap up this buyer's guide. Just to go over what all we learned, we went over the model overview. We did an extensive model overview. We went over the configurations and trim levels. We checked out the standard features across all the models, checked out the packages, the options. We went over performance and fuel economy data, safety data, driving dynamics, interior features, specs, Kelley Blue Book values, Autotrader prices, common problems, and Porsche genuine accessories known as Tequipment. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you found this buyer's guide review helpful, informative, or entertaining, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Other than that, I'm going to tell you to have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the very next video.